right, guys. So, like I told you, we are doing a special on 19 things, and today's 19 things is on how to stay active and healthy and maybe stay a little bit fit while you're stuck at home. This is Isaiah Standback, and now you might know him from his days playing with the Dallas Cowboys, but he also owns a gym in the Dallas area that I understand y'all had to close down with all the changes that are going on thanks to coronavirus. So now you're taking your athleticism online, I guess, huh?
Yes, that's what we're working on right now. We're trying to get access to online, trying to figure out the best way to be able to stream that information out and be able to get as many people access as possible. So we're dealing with the struggles. We have been talking about doing online for a while anyway, so this might just push us in that direction a little bit earlier than expected.
All right. So, I mean, like you're getting ready to do this and trying to train people from home. So, what are some
Yeah.
tips for, I guess, first thing, what is the best time to get active? Like, is it morning? Is it evening? What's the best time, or what do you suggest?
You know what? It really depends on your schedule, right? So some people are going to be early risers. Some people have a lot of things to get to throughout their day, and they have to be realistic about the time that they can actually work out, right? So if you have kids and you have a job, and when you get home, you got kids' activities, and life just happens. Then get up early in the morning and knock it out if you're doing it at home, right? Because that's what best suits your schedule. If you're somebody who's kind of single and kind of living it up, and you want to sleep in a little bit, get your sleep in, go to work and then come home and go hit the gym or work out at home. So yeah, I think it's really on an individual basis what works best for you. I'm the type of person, I need to get it in the morning because life hits about 6 a.m. So it's an early start for me and it's a long day. So the reality of me being able to break away from all of my responsibilities later on is just not going to happen.
Okay, and so I guess how often should you be getting active throughout the day? Say, for example, like a lot of us are working from home right now. How often should, like me, for example, I'm working from home. How often should I be getting up doing something instead of sitting at my little desk?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, I like to say a good judgment is probably about get up every hour, right? Just
Okay.
get up and, most people you get tired of that computer, right?
Yeah.
Once you start responding to emails and working on projects and doing video calls and all those kind of things, light, it comes at you fast. So I would definitely say every hour, just get up, walking around, and going to the bathroom doesn't count. So, walking around and just try to keep the blood flow, just because like for instance, I have a standing desk, right? So where we have a partnership, we do corporate wellness with Very. They just changed from Veridesk over to Very. They're a standing desk, formerly known as a standing desk company. So like when I'm working down in the office, I'm standing up the entire time, just because it allows for me to engage my core, it allows for me to be active, keep good circulation, blood flow, and I'm a lot more alert and a lot more aware. When you tend to sit down and you're sitting at a desk, you're sitting with bad posture. We're at home right now. Most people are sitting on the couch with their feet kicked up and they're leaning back. It's not really a productive. You're not putting yourself in a productive state. So get up, get some blood flow, drink a ton of water, and just try to keep moving.
All right, sounds good. And let's see, my first thing as we're starting to kind of get into workouts and certain type of movements.
Yeah.
For a lot of seniors are at home or are confined to a certain space, and a lot of times it's a small space. Do you
Yeah.
have a few like little bitty like workouts that maybe they can do, or even just like stretches even that they could do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've done a series of things with seniors, our elderly community, or those that just have a lot of injuries, right? They're unable to perform certain movements. But I mean, just even sitting down and getting up for our senior division is a lot, right? So giving them, whether it be like if you guys were trying to buy something for a parent or a grandparent, just give them an old school dodgeball or like an old school just inflatable ball. And there's a whole lot of just body weight type exercises they can do in terms of forward raises for the shoulders, rounds, standing up with good, sitting up with good posture, and then having them stand up and sit down a number of times. That alone is going to keep keep them in relatively good shape in terms of keeping their cardiovascular health up to date and keeping their blood flow going. That's the main thing. You just don't want the elderly being sedentary. You got to keep it flowing for them, and even just those small movements that you don't think about throughout the day, standing, sitting, walking, lifting your arms up and down. Those things, those are strengthening exercises for them.
Okay. And now for the kiddos, they're kind of on the opposite
Oh
spectrum. They
my
have
gosh, yeah,
lots of energy,
yeah,
they're probably,
yeah,
a little stir crazy being in the house all day now. Like this is what day three for a lot of people. So what do you
absolutely.
suggest for people with kids trying to maybe even get some of that energy out?
Yeah, I mean, if you're blessed to have a yard, let them little jokers run around the yard. Force them outside the house. A lot of kids right now, it's kind of a lost art getting out and playing. Even my kids, they're like, I'm bored. I'm like, you have way too much stuff in this house to be bored. So how about we go outside? Like I've reverted to my quote unquote punishment being hitting the block, right? Like run down to the corner and run back. That's one. So I mean, for them, they're like, oh, this is fun. I'm like, no, this is supposed to be punishment. No, but but just keeping them moving, keeping them active, reverting back to kind of how we were back in the day where we had to get out the house and we had to stay moving. All kinds of games, have them play tag, have them play duck, duck, goose, or whatever it is going, like, make it fun for them, but keep them occupied because they are, they have short attention spans nowadays. And if they're not sitting down on a tablet or looking at a TV playing video games, they get bored relatively easy.
Very true. And now, so what about for adults? Like, we'll just take, like, for me, example, like, I have a small confined space in my little apartment here, but, like, what can I do to get up and get active, or even some movements I can do?
Absolutely. I mean, we can start off with just the old school basics, right? I call it the Herschel Walkers, which is push-ups and sit-ups, squats, right? Lunges, all those things that are kind of in stationary positions. You don't need a lot of weight. I think our last workout prior to being shut down by the county, was majority. I kind of knew what things were heading in that direction, so I gave 14 exercises of just body weight. And people were, and people were dying. People were hurting. Obviously, it's at your own pace, it's at your own rate, it's at your own ability levels, wherever you feel comfortable. We always tell people to take one step out your comfort zone. You don't want to be comfortable while you're working out. You want to challenge yourself, right? But be smart about it. But even like if you're just starting out in your fitness, you want to hit your chest. Do push-ups, right? But you can do them from a kneeling position, right? Vary your hand placement. You can go from inside. It's going to work your triceps more. And the further out you go, the more you're going to work your shoulders and your chest, right? So that's one movement you can do, no matter how advanced you are, right? You talk about from a plank position, holding your regular plank or a push-up plank, right? Doing shoulder touches and trying to keep your hips still. Working your core. That's isolating that. Again, going to your squats from a standing up position, squat down, stand up, right? Change the variance in terms of how low you're sitting down. That's going to add difficulty. Lunges, right? Sometimes that could be tough depending on your abilities as far as a lot of people's knees and things of that nature. But you can do RDLs, right? Where you're leaning over, trying to touch your toes and stabilizing. I'm a big advocate of stability-based training. So you don't have to do a lot of explosive stuff. A lot of people are afraid of previous injuries. I've had 6 surgeries, so I've had my share of injuries, and I've had to always learn how to work around those through rehabilitation. So you don't have to have weights. You don't have to be doing explosive movements to get a good workout. You just need to put yourself in an environment that you're not accustomed to and not used to, and that's challenging for you.
Okay. And then also, I wanted to ask, like, you mentioned the body weight workout. So I guess since a lot of people are at home, you might not have access to weights. So body weights, or should you be trying to find something around your house to use as a weight?
Absolutely, and I mean that goes back to what's your fitness level, right? For me, I can get a great workout doing body weights, right? I can, right? It doesn't matter how advanced you are, but there's some people that love resistance training, right? And even though your body weight is resistance, right? Some people need that added resistance in the form of additional weight. So yeah, there's all kinds of things. I know everybody has a gallon of water at home right now, right? Or he'll say, I don't have it. Y'all took it all at the store. So, grab a jug or two of water and use that as additional weight, right? That's like 5 pounds right there. There's, people are grabbing whatever they can find, get their hands on cans, right? You can do all kinds of body weight stuff in terms of movement. You can get so creative. Think outside the box. Anything that has any kind of weight you can utilize for resistance. But again, make sure you're using proper form and just be smart.
And now, since so many of us, like you mentioned, are like kicked back on the couch, maybe watching a little Netflix, chilling a little too hard.
Yeah.
So how often should we be stretching, or at least like doing a little bit of movement or something?
Yeah, if you can sneak in 15 minutes of stretching a day, that's going to go a long way. And for people that are into yoga and all this stuff, y'all are probably going to say, it's not enough. It's better than nothing. 15 minutes of stretching goes a long way, especially if you're just getting going in your fitness or if you're hitting fitness hard, right? You need to keep your tendons, you need to keep your muscles elongated as much as possible, because when you train, right, you tear muscle fibers, right? Mm-hmm. That's what happens. When you do resistance training, you tear muscle fibers, which is a good thing. You just need to fill it in with proper nutrition, but what ends up happening is your muscles come back, right? And your tendons come back, and it constricts blood flow, right? So if you don't take the time to stretch, you don't take the time to do myofascial release in terms of rolling out, foam rolling, those things of that nature, your muscles continue to get bogged down, and then you continue to compress on your blood, on your nervous system, all those things, right? And then your body goes to heck, right? It starts pulling your hips out of alignment, and you start getting back problems and growing, you feel the knees. So you have to be able to lay those muscles back down and then get it back after training again. It's a process of getting after it, recover. Get after it, recover, and it's just a circle of life there.
All right, and so one of my last questions is, my co-anchor Aaron, he is a cardio junkie. He does like an hour or 2 hours on the elliptical every single day. I have no idea how he does it. He does it before he even comes to work.
Bless him.
So, what should he do like now that he can't go to the gym?
Yeah, so I mean, he can run in the house, right? I mean,
Yeah.
high knees. I mean, you'd be surprised at how many people do high knees improperly,
Mhm.
right? I always my big tip whenever I was having people do high knees is okay. I could jog in place all day long, but as soon as I ask you to bring your ankles to the front, right, and so you can see your knees and see your ankles in front of you, it changes the game up a little bit, right? So doing things, really kind of dialing things back and say, okay, am I doing this with the proper technique, proper form? Yeah, I can go outside and run all day long, but am I doing it the way I should be doing it? And I think by taking that step back and really analyzing your form, you can turn up your workouts a lot less than what you have been doing outside. So yeah, kudos to him. Tell him to keep killing it. But he can still get his running in inside. It's boring, right? Just watch something on TV. Put on a half-hour show, put on a Netflix
Yeah.
whatever little documentary and run. See how far. If you normally run for an hour, see if you can watch a whole show and run for an hour
Ooh.
inside. It's gonna be a game changer.
Man, that sounds rough.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Okay, and so the snacks, like proper nutrition and everything. I
Yeah,
know that's a huge part of any fitness routine
absolutely.
or anything like that. So now, once again, people are at home. I know me personally, I wouldn't stock up on snacks. I can't say that they're all
Yeah.
healthy. I can't promise that. So, what should we do? What should we be snacking on? And maybe there's some things we should stay away from.
Yeah, try to stay away from those bad carbs. That's really that's the hardest thing, right? Especially when a lot of people kind of hoarded a lot of stuff from the store this past week, and a lot of it was bread and chips and things that aren't really gonna perish that fast. Things you can throw in the freezer, but try to stay away from those bad carbs. Try to stay away from those unhealthy snacks. Things in the forms of nuts, oats, all those kind of things are going to sit on your stomach a little bit longer, take a little bit longer to process, so you're not going to have the urge to have those cravings popping up. People eat out of boredom. So try to get those things that are going to sit on your stomach a little bit longer. Get you some protein, or some protein shakes. Just good, healthy food. Just yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. My kids are coming up to me every second. Can I get a snack? Can I get a snack? I'm like, no, you need to eat. I turned vegetarian a year ago. I just hit a year, so it's harder for me because I'm used to getting that fresh produce, right? So I'm
Mhm.
trying to stay out the stores and all that kind of stuff. So the fresh produce, the tofu's, things of that nature, is kind of what I've gotten used to. So now I'm reverting back to going back to my black beans, my red beans, all those things. Those are things that are going to fill you up and it's going to sit on you a little while, so you're not feeling that urge that I got to grab something out the pantry.
Mhm. Okay. And any other like tips that you can think of that you can give folks who are, like I said, are working from home or spending at least most of their day at home?
Yeah, I mean, continue to stay connected to community, right? If you guys have friends that you guys worked out with on a consistent basis, if you guys know other people that are used to working out on a consistent basis, get online with them, right? We have too many resources online, between WhatsApp and FaceTime and every other kind of times and duos and everything else. Like, get online with somebody and take yourself through a circuit. Like I said, myself here, there's a ton of other facilities that are working hard right now to go virtual. There's a lot of people that have free information out there on Instagram. I think you can't even click on Instagram right now without all these fitness professionals and Instagram famous people doing workouts. Get on there and try it. Right, just try some stuff out. See what your body will respond to. Make sure that it's safe and it works for you. And then again, just stay active. That's the biggest thing right now.
All right. Thanks so much, Isaiah. Appreciate your time today.
No problem. Good seeing you.
You too.